Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Keely. I'm the owner of Love Hope Adventure, where I blog about the marriage relationship, intimacy in marriage, and how you can go deeper with your spouse. And today I'm answering a reader question about things that you can do with your spouse when you're long distance. So this reader is newly married. They are currently apart. They do have a little ability to sext. It seems like maybe some videos or pictures or something. So she wanted to know if I have any tips for people who are in this position. So maybe you're not newly married, maybe your spouse and you do have to work long distance. What do you do? How do you work on that? Is there a way to explore your sexuality together or with each other? So here's a few ideas that I have. First of all, I'd be super careful about just taking pictures and videos and sending them on your phone to one another. I really recommend an app because these things are encrypted. For example, I'll put an app link here in the chat here, or I mean in the video description, called Intimately Us. I recommend that you use that app to send pictures and videos and things like that to each other. They're short little clips. It's not going to be a lot. I think that another good idea is to do some video chat. If you have that ability, you do have to be careful again with those kinds of things. If you're in the military, they're probably gonna say you can't do any of this, okay? That stuff all gets filtered. But if you're not in the military, sending pictures and videos and things like that is a little bit better, a little bit easier to do. I think some video time with one another, being sexually intimate, is helpful because now you're looking at them face to face. It's in real time. You guys have the ability to explore on video some things that maybe you don't want to see later on. So video is always good. And if one of you is shyer than the other person, then I would say just give it time. This is the thing about sex. We have this idea that the minute we get married, the minute we start having sex, we're all going to always know what to do. We're going to be comfortable with everything. We're going to be like having sex all the time and everyone's going to orgasm and everyone's going to feel amazing. I think it's because there is a lot that we see on TV that sort of shows that. And instead, when we get married, it's like this very long process of understanding that other person, learning their body, getting to know them, what they like, what they don't like. And then I got a news flash for you. When you've been married longer, or as you age rather, your body's going to change and things will feel different. It'll take longer to orgasm, whether you're a man or a wife. So it's really important that if you or your spouse is feeling shy about the video and about the camera and all this other stuff, these aren't going to be good options for you. And there might not be really great options, especially first thing in the marriage. Some other ideas that I have for you is to write each other some descriptive emails or letters. This is a great way to, just sort of like give your spouse something visual, something they can read, something that can be exciting to them. And when you do that, you're going to feel excited. So letters, emails, things like that. Probably email, obviously. Who writes letters anymore? I think I was just thinking of certain times when maybe a letter is the only thing you can do. But maybe write some descriptive, things that you would like to do. Some things you'd like to try. Now's a good time for you guys to actually start floating some ideas past the other person. And this is the best time to do this because you can't act on it. So if you had some thoughts in your mind like, ooh, I think it would be really cool to try anal sex, okay? Well, that can be a bugaboo for a lot of people and a struggle. So while your spouse and you are not together, and you're trying to figure out your sexual intimacy and things like that, having some of these conversations can be really important because it'll help take the pressure off. They can say, without being in the heat of the moment with you, I don't want to try that, or I do want to try that. And if they do want to try that thing, then this is a good time to start mapping out, well, what do you think we would need? How do you think we would do it? What would be a good way for us to get into that position? What room would we do it in? When would you like, whatever the preparation is. Because let me tell you guys something. When it comes to sex, You need preparation. I know we watch these shows all the time where everyone's just tearing clothes off and suddenly have the ability to get in position, but real sex is not like that. And real adventurous sex is even less like that. If you're going to have anal sex, there's preparation. If you want to give your spouse oral sex, there's probably going to be some preparation. Where are you going to sit? How are you going to stand? What hygiene are you going to do? If it's going to be new sex positions or different sex positions, you can read those instructions and look at the cards and still not really know how to get into position. So I think now is a really good time for you to start asking each other those things. It can be very sexy and such a turn on to help you all, feel excited for one another and the things you'll be able to do when you're back together. But it also gets you it's going to actually get you guys some, time to prepare mentally and emotionally, and kind of if there's anything that you feel reserved about, share that. I'm going to put in the video description a link to a sexploration list that my friend JD actually created. So the sexploration list is meant for you both to print it off and your spouse fills out their side and you fill out your side and then y'all swap or whatever. And that's a great way if you're not sure how to address the sexual things or even what's out there sexually. That's the great thing about the sexploration list. There might be a lot of things out there that you're like, ooh, I never even knew about that. I never heard of that. I never tried that. And don't feel ashamed if you've never heard of something that you could do in the bedroom sexually. There's new things people talk about all the time that maybe you would have never even known. So don't think you just automatically know it. Another idea that I have for you would be to consider playing a bedroom game, and I'm going to put a link to that here in the description as well. I have a couple of sexy truth or dare type bedroom games, and you would definitely have to pick through the ones that you can kind of do yourself, and this is the kind of thing that I would do on video. Otherwise it doesn't make a lot of sense, but this is simply you self-pleasuring while your spouse is with you and watching. And those are some things that you can try and focus on, to do physically for release for one another right now, but also just focusing on some of the sexual things you want to try when they come back. But what I also want to recommend is that you take this time to intimately get to know them and have a lot of conversations. There is so much that you can know about a person through texts and emails and stuff like that. So really delve into a good friendship and relationship and stay in communication with each other every day. That is super important. My dad worked out of town my whole life when I was growing up. He was only home on the weekends for the most part, but my dad called home every single night. And I will tell you something that even looking back as a child and a teenager and everything, I never felt like my dad wasn't there, although he was objectionably not there. He was absolutely gone, but he was there so much in the way we thought, and we included him by talking about him and talking to him on the phone, and this was back in long distance days. There are so many other ways to stay super connected to your spouse while they're away now, and I really encourage you to focus on deeper intimacy, not just a sexual aspect of your relationship. I hope these tips help you, and I look forward to talking with you all again later. Bye!